Dear Bravo, we really don't need a white woman on this show. Kim does not want to film with these ladies, especially for an extended period of time. We don't need her here. And to be quite honest with you, Kenya don't want to be here either. Get rid of the both of them and bring in two broads who really want to be here. I'm a bit annoyed, but I'm glad we're back. So let's get into this review. So, although I was not here for Eva's antics on her debut episode, I will say this, pun intended. Will being a reality TV show hopper is very questionable, and that is something that Cynthia should look into. However, I do not agree with the ladies and how they handled the whole situation, and Eva trying to make him out to be like this serial cheater on Cynthia, when Cynthia was just like, we're not a couple or anything, we're not even serious, he's just a friend that I'm seeing, and even telling him that she wants to be around and see more people. And you guys didn't really define your relationship, so if he's dating around or seeing other people, that's his right, because Cynthia wants to do the same thing. So I don't understand the whole crying and the women saying these things about him, about seeing another woman. But I do agree with some of the women on the show saying, hey, he seems like he's an opportunist because I heard this or I heard that. That is something that you would want to know, because a lot of these people do get played on these reality TV shows. A lot of people get used, especially the Little Women shows. I know that those average height guys are always using it, because when the Little Women bring in men, they always have something to hawk. They're all rappers trying to push some career, or they're trying to sell something, and they're using the show to sell their product, and they're using the women to get on the show. So it does happen. I am not against the ladies inspecting Will in that way, but the whole relationship thing, when their relationship really wasn't defined, I don't know. I just didn't agree with it. But if he is reality TV show hopping, Cynthia should look into that. So let's get into this conversation with Porsha and Mama Joyce. Now, when I saw the preview of this, like before the Super Bowl, the week prior or whatever, when I saw the preview, I was just like, if I was Porsha, I would have brought my mother, because from the Mama Joyce that I've come to learn on this show, she don't hold back, and she gets really disrespectful. And I don't know about anybody else's community, but I know the black community, we do not disrespect our elders. It's just like, black people know that when you get to a certain age, you can just say and do whatever you want. That's why a lot of us cannot wait till we get like a good 70, because we cussing out everybody and telling everybody how we feel, and won't nobody do nothing, because that's how we do in the black community. We do not check our elderly people, unfortunately. So I was really concerned for Porsha. I was just like, I wouldn't go on this without my mama, because if Mama Joyce pop off, my mama gonna pop off, and I'm gonna stay respectful. However, Mama Joyce really surprised me, and I don't know if this was the producers trying to clean up her image, because she came into this season with a lot of people not liking her because of her antics. Although I feel like a lot of her antics, although she might have participated in it, I do feel like a lot of her antics were storyline, like with her going to go see Phaedra last season with the glasses and all of that was, to me, that was a stunt that was being pulled for storyline, so I really didn't believe that. But I do believe that maybe this scene is a image repairer, because she came off like a sweet mom who is trying to, you know, not just defend her child, but also get to the bottom of what's going on, being the mature person in this. And I felt like she really felt for Porsha. She may not have, but in this scene, she's making me believe it. And I really liked it. It gave me hope, because to be quite honest with you, I like this. This is a reality TV show, right? It's all for entertainment. I like when there's some mess and some drama and a little bit of shade, and, you know, the girls get into it sometimes. But I've always said this about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This was the funnest show out of the Housewives. Jersey was the one that was depressing. Beverly Hills was the one that was always foo-foo, she. New York was, you know, the kind of tough, wealthy women. But Atlanta has always been fun. Orange County was kind of fun, but it was always like a little dry. But Atlanta has always been like the comedy one. This is the one with the most ratings, and this is the one that everybody watched and had such a good time. And this Kandi and Porsha drama made it really, really difficult to enjoy. Felt like the drama went on for too long and we didn't have balance. So Mama Joyce meeting with Porsha, it really gave me hope that maybe their relationship can go in a different directions. I don't need them to be best friends, right? I just need to stop hearing about Kandi wanted to drug me and who wanted to eat my vagina, and like I need to stop hearing about that, and we need to move on, because it's a whole nother season. However, according to both of their Twitters, they still got beef. But Mama Joyce, for me, I felt like she turned a new leaf, and then she made this comment about Todd. Mama Joyce had made a comment about Todd, and Porsha was like, well, I don't want to get into that, but you guys have seemed to move into the right direction. And Mama Joyce was like, well, Candy got a lemon and made lemonade out of that lemon. And I was just like, I thought that you guys were in such a better place. So for her to make that comment about Todd, I was just like, you know what? Mama Joyce is still there, but I think she's working on her image and doing a lot better. Also because she has that restaurant, and nobody wants to eat food from a nasty person. So I'm thinking that she's working on changing her image. I really hope that this is the real deal, that she does want to, you know, mend fences between Candy and Porsha. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a stunt. I don't know if it's the real deal. Whatever it is, it's working because I like this new Mama Joyce. Also, Porsha, you have apologized enough. I realize that Candy has to heal on her own, and I feel like Porsha needs to leave it alone at this point because it's very uncomfortable to watch this grown woman try to get fake friendships back. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't best friends. At this point, you're just co-workers. You can coexist in the same room at this point. It's enough. Let Candy heal on her own and go on with the rest of your life. I would really like to see more of Porsha outside of her trying to become a friend of Candy when she really wasn't. They were just co-workers and just really cordial. So it's like, it's just awkward and just uncomfortable to watch her in every scene. I want her to be my friend. She don't want it. And that is her right. Move on. And also, these women kill me because I'm just like, you knew what you signed up for. It's a reality TV show. They have to craft some kind of storyline that has like highs and lows every season so that people can watch. If we were just watching their real lives, it would be very boring. So I just don't understand how they all, and it's not just Candy, I just feel like each and every individual woman, when the storyline is them taking the heat of whatever season, they all get like oblivious now to what this show is about. You all talk about each other. You all trash each other. You all sit down with a producer and craft some kind of storyline and give them gossip and things that you've heard. You sit down in your confessionals and you make the same comments, the same nasty and negative comments about each cast member. So it's just, I don't understand how when they're now caught up in some drama, or now we're focused on the drama that they're dealing with in their lives, that all of a sudden it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm like, this is what you signed up for. If you don't want it, don't accept the check. Move on to something else. But to just give this whole, like, woe is me performance when y'all all do it to each other, that's what I was saying about last season. I did not like how I felt that Porsha, like what she did, or her and, I done forgot her name. Phaedra, you better get on something because I done forgot your name. I just don't like how it was just, this big thing was made into what they did was so terrible. When I was just like, I can go back a couple seasons and say what somebody else did to somebody else was terrible. It was terrible, right? But I just felt like it wasn't to the point where it just became so dramatic and it just got really, really ugly. And I'm just like, am I the only one here who realizes that this is a reality TV show and this is what they all do? Because truth be told, if everybody really started giving out the real secrets, we'd all be like, all of our wigs would be snatched. You know what I mean? Like, it's, what we're getting is not even a glimpse of what we could really be getting. But if we get that real tea, it'll destroy careers. So we're going to get this fun little fluffy stuff and not really scratch the surface of what we really can get. And I'm fine with that. But I can't. And it's not just this one. It's not just Real Housewives of Atlanta. Everybody does it on like Jersey or New York or Orange County, Beverly Hills. I'm like, you were talking crap about the same person last season. Now that you're going through something, it's just like, oh, this is terrible. Get them off the show. I just feel like you really can't take a high road on this show. You should know what you're getting into. We, the viewers, know what we're going to get. That's why we tune in. So I just can't take these cast members acting like they're really above all the mess and the drama when it's just like, you're all one and the same. Like, it's reality TV. It's going to get messy. We're going to get drama. There's going to be highs and lows. We're going to hate you one season and love you the next. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. They won't. Reality TV really jacked up television. Although I know that this setup dinner with Cynthia and Nene is just a way to, you know, get the storyline of the obligatory girls trip. I just want to talk about how Nene has always had the best read. She gets on my nerves from time to time. But I just feel like she has always had the best reads, like their best one-liners, like right off the dome. Because when she called Croy Kim's Uber driver, I lost it because he is like Croy drops off Kim, and he just sits there in the car just waiting for her to finish her scenes. That bothers me because if you're coming to work, you're coming to work. What are you not doing that your husband or whatever is okay with sitting in the car waiting for you? Because if he's sitting and waiting, I'm not thinking that he's waiting about a good 8 to 9 hours. If he is, that's a problem. Where's his job? Like, is he I know he's not doing football anymore, but is there not like a business that he could run, an accountant, whatever? Like, I just don't understand how Croy doesn't have a job. And then if Croy is sitting in the car waiting for Kim, who was watching those 9 kids? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that he is always ready and available to drop her off. You know what? I remember one scene where he dropped her off and the kids were in the car. So is he taking the kids to go drop off Kim to sit in the car and wait for her to film? For her to finish filming? Because if you guys don't know, they film for a very long time. That's why in a lot of their scenes that they're filming in the daytime, and they try not to do that because, if they're filming outside in the daytime, the sun is going to set, you know what I mean? It's going to get dark and things are going to change and makeup is going to have to be redone and, all of that. So they try not to do that. So that's why a lot of these reality TV shows, they meet in some kind of location where you can't tell if it's day or night. So, oh my gosh, is Croy and them newborn babies waiting in a car for like 12 hours? Oh no. Andy, call DHS. So Kenya passed on Barcelona. Mother is done. Like, she has found love, and I think because she's no longer miserable, like she's happy, she's in love, she can't play the villain, because that villain character that Kenya was playing, she had to pull from somewhere. And I think it was a lot dealing with the fact that she was unhappy and unlucky in love, and just things were not going the way that she had hoped life would. And now that she has found this man, she's in love, she's happy, she's married, she wants to start having kids. She does not want to play this villain character anymore. And it's unfortunate because she's made her mark on this show as a villain. So it's like, if you're not the villain, then you're no longer useful if you're not bringing anything. And I think she's okay with that. I feel like this is like Kenya's last season, and I feel like she's making her way out of this show. And that's actually a good thing, because you can't really have, sorry to say it, a kind of happy and stable relationship in the midst of reality TV, because it just takes such a toll on you. It takes such a toll on your relationships. And that's why a lot of people coming into this, a lot of their relationships end. Now, they were probably in a bad situation before, but when they're in a good situation, these women, especially the women, they get off of these shows with the quickness. So I think the woman is happy. I think she's in love, and I'm very happy for her. We all should be, you know what I mean? Although she contributed to this show as the villain in some manner, we can always find a new villain. I don't want her to lose her happiness, because I like happy Kenya. Mean, miserable, nasty Kenya, I couldn't deal with it. And I hated it because I love to see, a dark-skinned chick rise to the top and kill it on screen. But nasty Kenya, I couldn't deal with it. I was just like, I'm ready for her to go. Now that she's happy, I want her to go. I want her to go and enjoy her happiness. I don't want her on this show rotting. Because that's essentially what you do. You're going to have to rot at some point. And I don't want that for her. So, bye, Kenya. I am over Peter and Cynthia. I know that it's going to take a while for them to be over each other, but I'm over it. Like, I'm over him, like, coming in sheepishly and glaring at her at the table or wherever they're meeting, and, getting his own confessional, being upset about getting a divorce, and then her essentially playing with his emotions. And this is the only time I don't like Cynthia. It's when she plays with Peter's emotions. And I don't like it, because I feel like she's playing with his emotions for a storyline, because no tea, no shade, Cynthia really don't have storylines. So she does little things to keep her relevant. So she'll make a best friend out of someone, or she won't be the bone carrier, because I don't think that she can play that enough. Because, they play off of who they are. So she's a very sweet person. So, the will thing isn't working. So now, hey, Peter, are you available to film? I don't like it, because he still has very strong and serious feelings for her. She's over him. You know, she has moved on. And I think she knows that she has him. So she knows that he'll always be available to shoot something or just see her. So even if it's to film a scene, he'll be ready. You know what I mean? Because I feel like he's working on something too. But you can just tell that he's still there for her. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, not my daddy. You know what I mean? Peter's daughter is better than me because you couldn't play with my father on national TV. But he always shows up and I'm just like, Cynthia, girl, you're better than this. Find another storyline. You know what I mean? Stop playing with Peter's heart because you are making me care for him and that man is nasty. I've met him in person. Sheree has been serving some looks. I don't like a few of them, but what I like about it is that it is typical black girl magic. Like, we have so many different kinds of looks and we have no shame. You know what I mean? We will show up to work with like a blonde pixie cut. Then like the next day we'll have like a long, like, you know, sheer black wig, like 40 inches hanging down. And then, you know, the following day we'll have like a red, you know, blunt cut bob. And then the day after that we'll have box braids. And that's what I love about Sheree. Like, she's serving so many different looks and it's so relatable because every scene I see her, she has a different hairstyle. And I'm just like, if this is not black girl magic, I don't know what is. Now see, this was such a simple scene, but I love this scene with Porsha and the girls who actually like her on this show. I like that Candy didn't show up. I like that, you know, Kenya wasn't able to make it. I like that Nene wasn't able to make it because it would have been some kind of tension and drama. And I, for once, you know, wanted to see some balance on this show because I think that's what it's missing and they have the ability to do that. So I love the fact that it was just the girls who really liked her, so they were just having a good time and laughing and joking and just doing stuff that was so relatable. I was even here for Drunk Marla because I like to see her get out of this like, oh, I'm a rich woman facade. You know what I mean? It was just really fun to just see them all just having a good time, having a girls' dinner, you know, at one of their girlfriends' house and just laughing and kiki, because that's what we do. We don't have this drama all the time. So I was living for this scene. I really, really was. Kim had a stroke? Okay, so I'm no doctor, but is that really young to be having a stroke? I normally hear about people having strokes when they're very older, like close to 70. I can't believe that somebody that young would have a stroke. How did I miss her having a stroke? Is she back on this show being messy? Girl, you gotta take it easy. You know what? I knew it wasn't all Confederate flags and rainbows over that house. She's doing a lot because Croy obviously is unemployed and they have a lot of kids. I think she has one, yeah, Brielle ain't going to college, but it's just a lot to take care of so many people and try to keep up a lifestyle. So I'm thinking that she's stressed out. Like, she has to be if she's the sole provider. You know what I mean? Like, she also got to pay, she probably got to pay Roy to drive the car and then give him gas money. So she is doing a lot. So I can understand, especially at that age, her having a stroke because she has to be stressed out holding the ball and supporting an entire clan, pun intended. Why does Nene keep coming for Croy's butt? Did he really get butt implants? Like, she keeps on making comments about his butt leaking from butt surgery. What, can somebody tell me if this is the truth or is this like a rumor going on about his butt? Because I remember him having like a really firm butt because that's what Kim liked about him when she first met. You know what? What is going on? We have this whole Barcelona trip, and this episode the ladies are getting ready to go. Kim wants to bring Croy, and the girls is like, you can't bring Croy. It's a whole girls trip. And so everybody's on their way heading to the airport, but Kim and Kenya are not making it. And I knew Kenya wasn't going. When her cousin mentioned, we got to get you back on the plane so you can get to your husband, I knew she was not going to come back for this trip. I think that's where Kenya spends a lot of her time. And she only came back to Atlanta to film this show. I don't think she stays there anymore. Anyway, so Kim is not coming on the trip because she can't bring Croy. And her excuse was, I had a stroke. And I feel like if something happens to me again, she said she had a stroke on a 4-hour flight to LA from Atlanta. She's concerned about getting on a flight for 10 hours to Barcelona. And she wants her husband to be there in case something happens to her. She knows that he will take care of her properly. However, Nene, I think, went to production because here's the real tea on that, right? Croy didn't come because production don't want to pay for his hotel and they have to pay for his flight. You know what I mean? And that's just another person who's not going to film. Like, Croy doesn't film any scenes. So it's just like, if you're not going to come to have some kind of storyline, then we're not going to pay for your room and board and also your transportation. Because not only do you have to pay for his transportation, they also have to feed him. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that goes into that. So it's just like, we don't want to spend this money on somebody who's not going to participate. We're really just paying money so you can have an Uber. We already got transportation. We don't need an Uber. We don't need you to have your own personal Uber. So I think that's what it was, because Kim kept on saying, well, Nene was very vocal about him not going. And I'm just like, oh, Nene probably talked to production, and production was just like, you know what, we can't put it in the budget anyway, because their budget seems a little bit measly this season. So I feel like it was more of a production thing, and they kind of put it on Nene because she probably did say something. But I think if you all want to break it down, it was that they're not going to pay for somebody who's not going to participate, which is very understandable. That's where it ends. This was definitely a filler episode. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comments section below. Now, next week, that's going to be the juicy week, because we're going to get Roachgate. So I think that this episode was just setting that all up so we can get to Roachgate, and I'm excited for that one because I saw that play out on Instagram and Twitter. So I'm anxious to see what the behind the scenes was like when they were filming and all of this was happening. So I will be there next week to review it. Please stop by in the comment section below and let's discuss the episode. Thank you for stopping by. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you for the following episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bye, guys.